All right. Namo Myoho Renge. This is a brief video on HTTP and HTTPS. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then well, this is important to all of you, whether you know what I'm talking about or not. I have a resource website that's been up for, I don't even know, since the 80s, called or at http colon slash slash threefoldlotus.com. I've accumulated a ton of scholarship, data, research, papers that I've assembled, letters and papers that I've written to answer people on different websites that have come and gone since then. But they're all on subjects having to do with Buddhism, the mind-body connection. I used to teach, actively teach Qigong and martial arts, Tai Chi Chuan, Chinese and Japanese, Kenjutsu, Jiu-Jitsu. My father was a competing judo practitioner, so I've been around the martial arts since I was a tiny little kid. Been around, and this was in Quebec, in Montreal, Canada. And I say that because judo, the soft version, the sport version, if you will, of jiu-jitsu, spread from Japan and went two ways. It went north with the grandmaster and an exemplar student doing demonstrations, went to Montreal, Canada, and another student of his, or that student that was doing a demo, split off from him and went to Brazil. So if you're familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and its origins, with the Gracie family and so forth, that came to Brazil via this same master from Japan, who first went to Montreal and established a judoka there. And then the jiu-jitsu branch developed from this student, or this this other entity that went down to Brazil. So all of that is to say that there's information about martial arts and meditation and Qigong and my own brand of martial arts, which that's a part of the path of my life. But the main dedication, the main thrust of that website is research into Buddhism in general, Daimoku and the mandala of Gohonzon more specifically, a lot of questions related to Nichiren's school of Lotus Sutra Buddhism, and just general questions about Buddhism. What is Daimoku? What is the mandala? What is Gohonzon? Blah, 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 these kind of things. I have a page that I continuously keep adding to, but that was established a long time ago. So there are some research papers and so forth that have been up there for decades. All of that is to say that it's an available resource for free for your study. And I really encourage any of you who are listening to this, whether you sign up and follow this channel, subscribe to this channel, like these videos and so forth. If you're hungry for this kind of information, that's a big free resource right there with links. I have a bookstore, books that I've written, books that I've transcribed. I have Gohonzons available, printed for you and sent to you that you can enshrine and do a gongyo and daimoku opening eye ceremony to them and start your practice. I don't sell butsudans or anything, as I'm not in business. And this is the thrust of the HTTPS thing. We're in such a security conscious world now because we have so many bad actors. We're in the latter age of the law. We're dealing with greed, anger, and stupidity. And so certainly security is a big topic. Unfortunately, though, it's so big a topic that most of us who are concerned about security haven't got much of a clue of what that actually looks like or means. We just chase the word, and that's also a sign of the times, isn't it? So I wanted to clear something up because my site's been up forever, threefoldlotus.com, that is. And you may see a message in these new browsers that says not secure, or even your browser may be set up, unbeknownst to you, to flag sites like this and go, oh my gosh, don't go there. You know, this is possible problems, blah blah blah. Do you want to continue to the site, or exclamation part, don't go. You know, all of those security measures have their role and their place, but you need to understand something. My website is an information website. The old days of internet, we put up HTTP pages with HTTP indexed markup language, and there was no transactions. It was just pages. Like if you walked up to a copy store or a library, you open a book, if you start reading that book and looking at the pages, you're not in danger, you know, unless somebody put anthrax in the pages, but that's not going to happen electronically over the internet, right? So look, HTTPS is a brilliant security protocol for internet pages that conduct business, that collect your information, that have you fill out forms to give them your name, your address, your credit card information, that kind of stuff. And so if you're going to go to those websites, absolutely you need to look for an HTTPS secure certificate website. But that costs money. The cheapest thing that I could find anywhere on the internet for a certificate is about $10 a month. And then there are other surcharges and blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. But it's specifically to encrypt the data that you enter into a website. Now, I have several links on my website that will take you to lulu.com or cafepress.com or paypal.com, right? But those are separate websites. Those are the transactional websites. That's not my website. That's a link that takes you to their website. And if you look at the URL when you're there, it will be an HTTPS. They need to be secure. But my pages, my website, has there's nothing there to take data from you. There is no collection of data. There just isn't. You'll never enter anything into my page. If you enter anything, it will be because you follow a link from my page to a page that does business with me, a completely separate entity, and that will be secure. So please don't worry. Don't worry that going to threefoldlotus.com will in any way. First of all, you won't be punching in information. It's just not there to collect. They're just pages. Remember web pages? That's what my site is. A collection of hundreds of web pages and little images that I have put up for buttons to make my page a little bit more interesting looking, but it's just text. The whole site is just text with links that go to secure websites where your information will be required to make a donation, to purchase a book, to order a print of this mandala of Gohonzon, etc. So please don't worry about your security on threefoldlotus.com because it's not in danger in any way, shape, or form. So HTTP for just regular web pages and websites. But if you're trying to sell something on your website through your website, then your website has a collection, data storage, and either on your computer or on the host computer, like if you're on, GoDaddy or one of these hosting things that promotes, putting a store or a cart on your website, then yeah, but see, they're most likely to have that security certificate because they're making money. So they don't mind spending, $500, $1,000 a year for a security certificate, they're going to make that money back. And when people go to your website to enter that information, your website, because it's on their hosting service, will have an HTTPS, because that's the nature of secure financial or informational transactions, right? But it's simply not a requirement for me. And being an individual who's just putting information out, that's my whole mission here with these websites and YouTube and Patreon and PayPal and all of this. It's the only reason I do it is to distribute information on Buddhism and share my scholarship, my investigation, my research, and to hear from you, to promulgate Buddhism. This isn't a business. I'm not making money. I'm barely subsisting. Believe me, I'm pouring not only my time and energy and research and experience into this, but I spend a lot more money, whatever money I find available, into keeping this endeavor afloat than I probably will ever see in my career or my time on YouTube or whatever. Maybe someday I'll be monetized, and that would be nice, just to support this ongoing endeavor. That's not to say that those of you who've been super generous in donating things, sending me candles and incense, products, bells, so on, or money, gosh, you guys are lifesavers. You're helping me augment what I do here, improve what I do here. That I don't want to say, I don't know how big it is for you, but whatever money, whether it's a single donation or a monthly commitment like through Patreon, or to PayPal, you can do a regular commitment there. That's what allows me to buy better lights or a better microphone or a better interface, and so on and so forth, so that I can improve the quality of this dialogue and this information. But there's just no profit structure here. There's no, believe me, my business mind, it's not good. I do not have business acumen, but I do think that I have some acumen when it comes to over 40 years of research for my own edification and depth of practice in Buddhism. And that's all I want to do, is share it with you and hear from you and play with my leash on my glasses until I'm comfortable. Anyway, I hope that clears it up. HTTP versus HTTPS. That S for security is only of any use whatsoever if there are inputs for information being gathered and on my website, which there just isn't. Anything that requires your information is through a link to someone else's website, which needs to be secure, but not mine. All right, enough said. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And all of this is to promote threefoldlotus.com. There's just a ton of information there to answer lots of questions you may have. It may be easier to navigate that. The main page, by the way, that answers, I have these green buttons that ask, what is Gohanzen, what is Gosho, what is or what is it to be a Buddhist? There's all sorts of questions there that have multiple papers and research and my own essays and so forth of explanation, which would be a starting point for your study. And the exact URL to that is threefoldlotus.com/home/home.htm, hypertext markup language, HTM. I don't use the L. So that's the core study materials page, but there's stuff all over the website. So have fun, go there, follow the links, and educate yourself. Make your practice strong. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I'll let you go now.